St. George.
All right, here's your weekend temperature forecast for June 1 and June 2. For the greater Dixie area, today highs 90 and lows 60. For Sunday, highs 91 and lows 60. For Zion National Park today, highs 86 and lows 55. And for Sunday, highs 85 and lows 55. For Bryan Head Village today, highs 54 and lows 33. And for Sunday, highs 53 and lows 33. For Radio Dixie and Radio St. George, this is Dennis Mattinson.
This week on American Parlor Songbook, join us from the Diamond Valley Art Center in Hemet, California. We'll duke it out on a show about conflict. I'll tell another true childhood tale. Voice artist April Havashankman is back, and our musical guest is a singer-songwriter who refers to himself in the third person, J.P. Houston. Yes, I'll be singing my own songs from my upcoming album.
American Parlor Songbook, Sunday evenings at 9 on Radio St. George 100.3.
Hi, this is Tyler from Hash House A Go-Go, and we've decided to sponsor the DSU radio program. At Hash House A Go-Go, we offer unique dishes, generous portions, and our light and twisted menu with smaller portions. Recently, Hash House A Go-Go was voted best in Southern Utah for breakfast and brunch, serving Indiana home-style food with a West Coast twist. Hash House A Go-Go by the Red Cliffs Mall, putting the fun back into food.
Outdoor furniture to endure the desert climate. Comfort, easy maintenance, custom made for your home. Outdoor Living. Located at 735 South Bluff Street in St. George, Outdoor Living offers in-home consultation and design for custom outdoor furniture. Outdoor Living, a proud sponsor of the radio program here at Dixie State University.
When people feel something wonderful, when they really want to share their happiness, they sing. Join the Mormon Tabernacle Choir each week as they sing the world's most uplifting and joyful music, in music and the spoken word. You may forget the songs, but you'll remember the feeling of happiness.
Music and the spoken word, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln, Sundays at 7 and 1 on Radio St. George 100.3.
Non-commercial quality music. Intelligent conversation. Radio St. George at 100.3 FM.
Good morning and welcome to KDXI St. George, Radio St. George at 100.3 FM. It's our pleasure to present to you The Garden Show with Artie and Woody. It's time to find out, how does your garden grow? Here are your hosts for The Garden Show, Artie and Woody.
All right, folks, welcome to another exciting edition of the Fun and Garden Show, starring Woody.
Are we on the air?
We are on the air.
I'm scared.
You are our star, and I'm just the producer.
I'm the conversation part. You're the intelligence part.
No, I doubt that. No, because everything I plant dies. So I'm just the guy that sits around and listens to you talk.
But you keep all the big box stores and the nurseries in business.
Absolutely.
Because you keep going back and buying more and more and more.
Absolutely. So, I should actually take notes and listen to your great advice, because Woody has great advice every single week on the Fun Garden Show.
Or you could go to our website.
Yep. Tell us about the website, Woody.
Website, funandgarden.com.
Now, what can guests to the website
they can see
find?
Pictures of us.
Oh, picture. Oh, that's not really.
Artie gets better looking every week, and I get older every week.
I sure look wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can ask questions. You can ask questions on our Fun and Garden Show
or
website.
You can watch our previous shows.
Absolutely. And let's see. And there's plenty of ways to contact us.
And Harvey the tortoise is on there.
Now tell us about Harvey again.
Harvey's our trained tortoise. He's trained to stay in one position.
Because he's made out of concrete.
Concrete, yeah.
Now Harvey is named after...
the dog down the street named Harvey. There's Harvey and Harvey.
No. It was
Elvis.
It was referring to your actual tortoise that you had.
Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis. Now, how long did he have Elvis? Elvis was
I had
Woody's
about 5 years.
Woody's tortoise in the backyard.
Yeah, he was a cicada tortoise from North Africa.
Really?
But he got so big I couldn't lift him anymore. He was
Now, how big did he get?
He was about 65 pounds.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
But he ate everything.
He ate everything, the lawn, the plants, my garden.
Wow.
Everything. And it wasn't that he trimmed the lawn off. I don't care about that. But he'd pull the lawn up and eat the roots, the dirt.
Oh, my goodness. So you found Elvis a good home? And
I did. I got him a home with a female.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, it is.
All right. And so you replaced Elvis
With Harvey.
With Harvey, and Harvey's made out of concrete. And
Yeah, but he smiles, so it's good.
he's always smiling.
Yeah, and I sit out there and talk to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You talk to a concrete sculpture.
Well, he talks back.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Well, folks, it's the Fun and Garden Show. Like Woody said, you can contact us or interact with us on the website, funandgardenshow.com. You can also call us here when we do the show live Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. It's 435-879-4100. The best part about that phone number is that you can also text us to 435-879-4100. You know, some people are nervous about calling radio stations.
I know.
So-
And we'll endeavor to answer your questions the following week.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you can email us. It's radiostgeorge@gmail.com. radiostgeorge@gmail.com. All right. So what are we going to be talking about today on today's exciting and riveting Fun and Garden Show?
I brought some questions that had been left on our website.
Okay.
And I thought we could answer those questions. And then if we have time left, we can, do something crazy, dance or something.
Okay. So you brought questions from our website, so people are starting to interact on our Facebook page. Well, that's great.
Right.
All right. Well,
you be the question asker, and I'll be the question answerer.
Oh, you print. That's what you printed out
that piece of paper is sitting by.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Someone wants to know about sunburns on trees.
I think sometimes when we talk about that, people think we're joking. Do I get some suntan lotion and put on my tree or whatever? But actually what it is when a tree is young, and maybe a 5-gallon size or even a 15-gallon size, and, they're maybe 3/4 of an inch in diameter, and you put them in your property somewhere, it's really more a question of heat than it is sun, but the heat follows the sun. So what it is when one side of the tree gets so hot that it can't withstand that heat, and it actually starts to dry the tree out underneath the bark, and the bark starts to split, and it'll kill the tree. In fact, I actually took out part of my eastern redbud last week and hauled it over to the recycle place because it had gotten sunburned, and I'm hoping I cut it down to about 4 feet high, and I'm hoping that it comes back because it was a really beautiful tree.
Well, my place, you did point out that one of my trees actually is sunburned on one side.
Right.
And we wrapped it with cloth to begin with, and I got complaints from the neighbors because they thought it was toilet paper.
Yeah.
But you did bring over a can of paint, and I'm going to do that today.
You said that last week, Artie?
I'm going to do that today.
All right.
So if I can find the paint that you brought over.
You want to use latex paint, no oil base, but then there isn't much oil base around anymore. And you want to use a light color because it reflects the heat from the sun. And you want to put it on the west side of your tree where that heat gathers.
Yeah, well, the east side is perfectly fine. It looks normal.
Right.
But that west side, it's just burnt, it's just looks so unhealthy.
And if you paint it and, 3 or 4 or 5 years goes by, it'll gradually, the bark will heal and it gets thick enough and heavy enough that it'll protect the tree. But when the tree's young, it'll kill the tree. It really will.
Especially with their brutal weather.
Especially in St. George.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't even remember having that problem when I lived in Salt Lake.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's down here because that west sun. Another thing you can, when you plant the tree, if you take that into consideration and plant it where maybe another existing tree shades it in the afternoon, that'll save the problem. But, it's pretty hard to use that as a reason where you put the tree.
Okay.
Because you usually put the tree where you need shade, not where there already is shade. But if, like I've got an ash tree on the west side of my house, but my neighbor has a large conifer that from about 4 o'clock on shades the ash tree. So lo and behold, it kind of protects it. So there's different ways, but yeah, sunburn is a problem. It really is. And more so on some trees than others. The ash trees will sunburn. Yours are flowering plums, aren't they?
I was about to ask.
I think they are. I think
okay.
they have the purple leaves and so on.
Yes,
Yeah.
purple leaves.
Yeah, and so the ash trees are bad. I've got a Texas umbrella tree that doesn't have a problem. The locust trees will sunburn. You have to watch those. So, and if you have an issue with it, you can always go to one of the nurseries like Star and talk to somebody like Doug, our friend. And,
He's such a great guy.
yeah, and he'll help you out.
Okay. All right, so sunburns on trees.
Yeah.
Facing the west. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna,
I got to have some medicine. Wait a minute.
all right. What kind of medicine is it?
I've got Chick-fil-A Diet Coke.
Chick-fil-A Diet Coke.
If you go there and you're a certain age, which I am, they'll give you a free senior drink.
Wow.
And so when I get a biscuit there, and their biscuits are wonderful, I get a free
Free drink.
a free drink.
That's incredible.
Senior, they call it senior.
A senior drink.
I call it old age, you're almost dead drink. Yeah.
Right.
You don't know what to say to that, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually thinking, how many years am I away from free stuff?
I don't know if it's 60 or 80.
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. It is the Fun and Garden Show with Woody and Artie. And, you can drop us a note at funandgardenshow.com. There's a little area where we are currently answering questions to people that
and I don't.
questions there.
The folks that are out on the ships at sea, I don't know how they would. I guess they could get to our garden website, couldn't they?
Sure.
Yeah.
The World Wide Web is it's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
We might get some tweets from you know who.
Howard Stern?
Yeah.
Oh.
President, what's his face?
Oh, President.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't talk about
I thought you were talking about Howard Stern.
No.
All right, let's see. Mexican feathergrass.
No. You're way down. What types of trees?
Oh, wait.
Have you got your glasses on?
Well, I don't know where does it say that at? Okay. Oh, yeah. Explain. Okay, wait, hold on. What types of trees do you recommend for our area?
Yeah, there's a lot of trees that do pretty fair. Now, if you're going to talk about conifers, pines, everybody calls them, then there's only a couple that will be okay here because of the heat. And the main one is Mondale. And it's actually, I was told, I don't know if it's true, that they're actually from Siberia.
Really?
Yeah.
They ship them in from Siberia.
Well, that's where they were originally developed. I don't know if they ship them in from Siberia. The shipping on that might be a little excessive. But they are a conifer that will stand the heat, and they do really well in really bad soil, which we have, and they're drought tolerant, and so they're a good, if you're looking for a pine type tree, they're similar to in shape and size and to like ponderosa pines and that type of thing. They're not like the blue spruce where the triangle shape like a Christmas tree.
Sure.
They're not like that.
Okay. But those would be some good privacy trees. Playing around.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people I knew a builder here that was a friend of mine, and every subdivision, every building he built, he put pine trees around it because he loved them. He was from California, and most of the builders will put palm trees and tropical things, and he was putting pine trees everywhere.
Okay.
So that's kind of interesting. Locust is a tree that does real well down here. They have, Artie, do you know what a sunburst locust is?
I don't know. Just something that flowers out and looks pretty.
It shoots fireworks up every night.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. No, sunburst locusts are in every way like a regular locust tree, except right at the end of the branch where the new growth comes out, it comes out bright yellow.
Ooh.
And so it gives the appearance from a distance of having large yellow flowers on the tree. And then as those leaves get a little older and it grows out a little bit more, they turn dark green.
Oh.
So they call it sunburst, and they do really well down here. And the regular locusts do really well down here. They're adaptable to the type of soil that we have. They should be in an area that has pretty good drainage. The only problem with the locusts is they are susceptible to the borers.
Okay.
So you need to use the Bayer tree and shrub chemical on them once a year to keep the borers away.
And I assume that you apply that during the springtime, right?
The spring, yeah. March, April.
Now, as far as blooming is concerned, I mean,
There's no blooms on them.
Okay.
No, the sunburst, it's just the leaves coming out that are bright yellow, and they're that way for a week or two, and then they turn green.
Oh.
So, it gives that appearance, but there's no actual flowers on the locust tree.
Okay.
And, I should have asked you this before the show, but do you know the difference between a male and a female tree? Trees have males and females. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of people don't. Yeah. But they do. A lot of the trees, they'll tell you have to buy them in pairs.
Sure.
2 of them, because lo and behold, they have male and female trees.
Wow.
Yeah. Who would have known?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So with locusts, I don't know. You lived in Salt Lake a long time. Do you know the locust trees that have the big brown pod that hangs from them?
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then in the fall, they drop on the ground.
Yeah.
And they're messy. Those are the females.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if they don't have those pods, it's a male.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
the things you
interesting.
learn when you tune into our show.
Absolutely.
Okay. The next one that I really like is the Texas umbrella tree. And the reason they call it that is because if it's left alone and it's not trimmed, it grows in the shape of an umbrella or a hydrogen bomb. But that wouldn't be a very good title for a tree.
Sure.
The hydrogen bomb tree.
No, it wouldn't be a good title at all.
So Texas umbrella, or the other name is Chinaberry tree.
Okay.
And they call it Chinaberry because in the fall, they get these cream-colored berries in clusters on them, and the berries drop off, and they are so hard and so brittle that they're like china glass. If you run over them with the mower, that just shreds them, and you can hear the mower just hitting those, just like you were mowing glass.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So they call them china berries because they're so hard and so brittle.
Nice to look at, but probably not good to eat.
Not good to eat. No, you wouldn't want to. You've heard of jawbreakers.
Yeah.
This would be like the super jawbreaker of all times. This would be maybe you'd eat one a year, and it would finally soften up.
Okay, so how often do they bear those berries?
Once a year. And they bear in the fall, and then they drop off in the winter, and then in the spring you're mowing them.
Okay.
What's good about this tree is it's a unique shape, and it looks really pretty, and it has a real dark leaf.
Okay.
We've talked before about the different textures of trees, the different colors of the leaves. Locust is a light green leaf, almost like a lime-colored leaf. Chinaberry is very dark, and it's really pretty.
So you recommend China trees for this area because
they do real well in the soil here.
They survive the heat.
They survive the heat, and the boars don't bother them. They're not a boar problem.
The boars stay away from these trees.
There's a sign somewhere underneath the ground that says "No boars allowed."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have to buy that sign.
Yeah,
at the nursery,
and you have to dig it down in the ground. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What else works well in this climate?
Okay, the ash trees. The one drawback I think to ash trees is they're really pretty. They have a great color to them.
What color are they?
Well, they're a darker green too. What we love about them, my wife and I, is that in the fall, the different colors they turn. There's some that turn a bright fluorescent yellow, and some that turn a really dark red.
Oh.
Depending on what variety of ash tree that you have.
Now, in Salt Lake City, fall would be considered September and October.
Yeah,
and our fall is November and December.
Yeah, the ash trees. The one I think that's a negative to me is that they're brittle. And they will sunburn when they're young. So you have to protect them, and they do have a problem with boars. So underneath the soil, down by the roots, it says "Welcome boars."
Welcome boars.
Yeah. So you have to treat them in the spring every year with the Bayer.
You can't get one of those little signs that we talked about?
No, they won't sell them.
Stay away. Stay away, boars.
Yeah, they won't sell them with the ash trees, okay?
Really?
Yeah. Now, there's the type of ash trees I have at my house are raywood, but they have others that are available here. There's raywood, there's Modesto, there's the Arizona, and there's the Fantex, FAN/TEX, Fantex. And they're, especially the Modesto and the Fantex, do really well down here. The raywood's a little bit not quite so tough as those others. But they all do well, but they all will get boars, so you have to watch them. All right. There are other trees. Oh, I wanted to talk about mulberry trees.
Okay.
They're from the early days of the pioneers. They bought mulberries down here, and they brought them down here because they were trying to do the silkworm thing. And the silkworms, used to have them up in their attic of their houses, and they would take a branch. You're looking at me like I'm lying to you, but this is true. They would take a branch off their mulberry tree with the leaves and put up in the attic, and the silkworms eat the leaves off the mulberry tree, and then they spin their silk. they actually tried to get a industry going of silk from silkworms. The mulberry is a really pretty tree. It has a big leaf. They're dark green. They really give a lot of shade. To my knowledge, they don't have a problem with borers, but what they do is, the one drawback to the mulberry trees is they get really large, which doesn't sound like a problem when you plant them, but after 20 years it can be a problem. But the other problem is they send their roots out on the surface. So if you plant them 10 feet away from your house, then in 20 years you're going to have one side of your house is higher than the other side. Oh, wow. So it's a problem. They'll crack your concrete. So if you're going to plant them, try to plant them as far away from your house as you can, and try to plant them as deep as you can, and then watch for the roots to come out on the surface, and they kind of make this hump that you trip over if you walk around the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that happens, I take my plant them, reciprocating saw. Now, there's a $5 word.
Wow, reciprocating saw.
Reciprocating saw with the wood blade, and I cut a foot or 2 feet out of the root. And my neighbor, when he saw me doing that, he said, your tree's going to fall over. No, the tree's not going to fall over, but it stops it from growing on the surface, and it makes the root turn and go down. And if you get a professional arborist to come to your house and do the roots, if you have a root problem in your lawn where it's real bumpy and everything, that's what they do, is they grind the roots out of the surface of the tree. Wow. And the tree will do what it needs to do to live and to survive and to adapt. But you have to get rid of those roots in your lawn, or they're really obnoxious, and like a cinder block wall, a driveway, the foundation to your house, it'll destroy all those.
Wow. Well, we have 50 seconds.
50 seconds?
50 seconds until our first break. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
Can I sing a little song or something?
Absolutely. That's what we want you to do, is sing.
Maybe I better not.
Okay, so
do you have standards in this radio station?
No standards.
No standards, okay.
So, okay.
Here comes our Western music.
We have 25 seconds. Explain quickly what you meant about having those silk things in the attic. I don't understand what that means.
No, they actually were weaving silk cloth. They had silkworms they imported, the pioneers.
Oh, okay.
And they eat the mulberry leaves.
All right, we'll have more with the Fun and Garden Show.
Yeah, that's Midnight Special. That's Midnight Special.
I'm Rich Warren.
FM.
What'd you do? Turn this off?
We
We're
now
on right now.
return to the Garden Show with Artie and Woody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Fun and Garden Show. We are broadcasting live from the beautiful campus of Dixie State University. We want to thank our leader,
Sean,
yep, the leader of the band, the Big Kahuna.
the Grand Poopah.
He's such a great guy. And folks, he built 2 stations from the ground up. He has the Radio St. George 100.3. That's the one that we're on. He built this wonderful station from the ground up, and it's getting more and more popular by the day. So many different types of programming, and people are having lots of fun with it. Fun being on the radio and also fun listening to it. He has classical and jazz and lots of other great syndicated programs on it as well. And he lets us do this.
Right.
And so he's awesome.
And the other station is, rock and roll?
Yeah. Radio Dixie 91.3. So
Wow.
it's a station.
Plus, he teaches all the kids about communications, right?
He does such a great job. So both stations are his dream
That's
child
great.
or his project child or whatever that expression is.
Yeah.
His dream come true. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, so we want to thank him for letting us do this. So that's awesome.
We want to talk about shrubs now, Artie.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
We're still doing the garden show?
We are.
Okay.
A little bit, anyway.
Well, let's get after it.
Shrubs for the area. Shrubs can be really important. They can be the item that you use your judgment on as far as texture and color and size. You know, you can get shrubs from being a foot by 1 foot to being 6 or 8 feet tall and 4 feet wide. One of the ones that does fairly well down here, and it's a shrub that looks almost tropical, is the euonymus.
Okay, explain what that is.
Well, it's a shrub that has kind of an oval leaf, and it's usually a lower growing shrub. They'll get about as wide as they do high, so you might see one that's 3 feet wide and 3 feet high.
Is that something you have to trim down?
No, well, you can, but you don't have to.
You don't have to. Okay.
And there's a lot of them in California. And they're an oval leaf. They have a little oval leaf, and like I say, they almost look almost like a
chicken.
A chicken. No, a cow.
See, I
succulent. They almost look like a
I
succulent.
have no experience with gardening, so I just didn't know how to help you there. So I threw out chicken because
well, I talked to you about putting some at your place.
Chickens?
No,
Oh.
you want them because they have dark green and they have yellow. Remember we talked about?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
some
Dark green
ones.
and yellow.
And they have some that are variegated. That are both dark green and yellow.
Wow.
They have both kinds of leaves.
Are they low maintenance?
They're pretty low maintenance. They're a little more expensive than maybe you will like to pay.
Well, keep in mind
they're more than $1.
Keep in mind, see, you can't buy them at the dollar store.
No.
Keep in mind, everything I grow dies.
Yeah.
So will I kill this one?
No, they're pretty hardy. They are.
So hard to kill this one.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like my plant.
Another one that I bought 3 or 4 years ago, and they're doing really well, are glossy abelia.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a $10 word. And glossy is because the surface of the leaf looks like it's wet. It looks shiny.
Okay.
So that's the glossy part.
It doesn't have that sticky goo crap on it, does it?
No sticky goo.
All right.
It
Because
looks like
some of those shiny ones, you go and touch this like that's a nice plant, and then your hand gets stuck to the plant.
You feel like Winnie the Pooh in the honey jar.
Sure.
Yeah. No, the glossy abelia are really a good. They're they're a shrub that kind of branches out in all ways.
Okay.
I mean, they'll shoot a limb out this way, then one out that way, and then one out front. And you kind of have to trim them back a little bit, or they'll get 7 or 8 feet around.
Mm-hmm.
They have a very small white bloom that comes on them about this time of year, and they're really small, like half the size of a pea,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll bloom, and you hardly notice them because they're so little.
Huh.
But they're a good shrub. They do well in any kind of soil, and they do well in the drier soil or the wetter soil. Either comes on them about this. So they do pretty well.
So that's another perfect plant that you're recommending.
Yes.
Down here in St. George.
Yes.
Okay.
Another one are sage.
Okay.
You've heard of the riders of the purple sage?
No.
No.
No idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Sage, like we say sagebrush. Well, sage has hundreds of varieties.
Okay.
And there are some that we have down here as shrubs. There's I think it's around July or August when the sage goes purple. It's just really bright purple everywhere in all the gardens. That's a sage. They have a yellow one that has yellow blooms on it, and it does really well in the area of the type of soil and the water and all that kind of thing.
How does it handle the heat?
Handles the heat fine. But one thing about sage is you can have allergies to it. You know, a lot of people get around sage and it's sneeze time.
Speaking about allergies, I've been here in St. George since 2014. I moved down from Salt Lake, and every freaking year I've had allergy problems, except for this year. It's just weird.
No, it isn't.
Maybe because I've grown accustomed to the area, or what is going on?
It's because it's rained a lot. It takes the pollen out of the air when it rains.
Okay.
Takes the pollen and drains it down into the soil. So the more rain you have in the spring, the less allergies you have.
Okay. I guess I missed that.
I had the opposite effect when I was in Salt Lake as a young person working outside. I had terrible allergies. I mean, the spring was it was awful.
Well, no, it usually is with me. That's what's it's so weird about.
I had to take shots. I had to take pills. It was awful. And I moved down here 25 years ago, and my allergies went away.
Really?
I have no allergies down here of any kind.
Usually it hits me 1st of May. 1st of May.
You can go in and get tested, and they'll test you.
I have been tested.
Yeah, they put the little
pin
swizzle thing on your
little
arm.
pinprick things.
Yeah. And most of the time it's grass or it's trees or one kind of tree or whatever.
I know it's not cats that I'm allergic to because I hoard cats.
Yeah, I know.
I have 17 now that I hide underneath my bed.
Yeah, that's a lot of cats under the bed. That's a lot of cats.
Actually, I've moved underneath the bed with my cats.
Now they're not food storage, are they?
No.
I think that would be the only reason to have that many cats.
But you know what? If I do die in my sleep, I'll become their food storage.
I'll bet. They'll find you about 2 weeks later, and you'll just be a skeleton.
No, see, that's the. Oh boy, we're talking morbid stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just if I ever don't show up for the Fun and Garden show,
come get you. Come under the bed. I'll have to bring some cans of cat food to replace you, so they don't attack me when I take your body away.
That's true. And you know what? And when that does happen, even though I'm dead, I would like you to still prop me up in this chair.
Oh, no problem.
Okay,
no
problem. like that movie Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah,
where we
can put you there.
They haul around the dead corpse.
Well, only thing is, Artie, would you tell them to not chew on your face? Because I don't want that.
That's the first place they go.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's morbid. I don't know why we went there. I'm so sorry.
You're the one that went there.
I
not
went
me.
there. Sorry, folks. Sorry. What are we talking about?
Shrubs.
Oh, I thought it was things that would grow underneath our bed.
Yeah, this next one is your favorite.
Okay, what is it?
Mexican feathergrass.
Yes.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah.
I like it too.
Well, you talked me into getting a couple, and they were on sale at Star.
Oh, yeah.
And
And
Stars.
then you went back and bought more, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay. Initially, I got 3, and then I went back, and they were, Stars. Star Nursery always has great prices, always. But these were even better because they're on sale. So I went back, and I think I got like 4 more.
Yeah.
So.
And they're doing good.
Yeah, they are.
They do good in the heat. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, now the warm weather's coming. As of next week, it's supposed to be 95.
Uh-huh.
They'll do better than they are right now.
And they're and I'm that's good. That's good to know.
They don't have to be watered every day, a couple of times a week, and they grow well. And they look. They actually move with the breeze, and they give your and they're a lighter color than anything else in your garden. They actually look almost like orchard grass or something like that.
And they have these little fluffy things that
Up
are
on top.
that are appearing on top.
Yeah, and they do really
Well,
well.
everything I plant dies, so
They won't die.
I'll kill them somehow.
No, they won't.
No,
I guarantee it, Artie.
You
They'll
sure?
live. Yeah. And your cats won't eat them, so we're in good shape.
That's good.
Your cats will eat you, but they won't eat the Mexican feathergrass. But they're wonderful, and they'll get a little bigger every year. And in the winter, when winter comes, you cut them down into a mound about 2 or 3 inches high. And then in the spring, up they come.
So I don't have to cover them. I don't have to have
no.
your. I was gonna actually pay your wife to knit little sweaters for him.
Yeah,
For
she
the-
probably would, but it might be a little expensive.
I don't have to do that.
I thought you talked to her about knitting for your cats.
No.
No, it was the Mexican.
It was the
feathergrass?
Mexican.
Yeah. Okay, then we get into things that you can plant that are. You know the difference between an annual and a perennial, right, Artie?
Sure, I've been listening to this wonderful show that you're doing every week.
Okay, what's an annual?
Annual, it only comes up one time a year.
That's right. It's good for 1 year, and then it runs away.
It dies.
It's gone.
It
dies.
Yep.
And a perennial comes back every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Mexican feathergrass, that's...
No, that's not what we're talking about.
No, I know, but going back to that, since you brought it up.
All right.
Is it a perennial?
Perennial.
Perennial?
Yeah.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, things like daisies, echinacea.
You know, echinacea...
You've heard the word echinacea.
I've heard echinacea is supposed to, be a mood enhancer.
It's supposed to be good for colds, too.
Really?
Yeah.
But I've taken a whole bottle of echinacea. And it doesn't work at all.
Do you put it in your garden?
No, I eat it.
Well, it grows in your garden.
Does it?
No. It's the other way around. They take it out of the garden and make the pills.
Oh, okay. But if I get the plant, I'm wondering if that would be a little bit more potent than the echinacea pills.
If you put enough of them around your house, you'll be in a good mood.
Well, see, that stuff doesn't work. But I did see. But after I took a bottle of that, I did see. These pink ponies.
Did you see pink kitties?
No, they were pink ponies floating around big clouds of cotton candy. So maybe that does work.
I think that movie is Fantasia by Walt Disney.
Oh, something like that.
Only it was elephants, pink elephants.
So, okay. So what else? What else can you do with echinacea?
Okay,
then?
so perennials you can buy
Uh-huh.
seeds and you can plant them. And there's daisies, and they do really well down here, and they do well in clay or any kind of soil.
That's what we have.
They're pretty good as far as drought tolerant, and there's not a lot of bugs that bother them. And they have white Shasta. They have the mixes of the different colors of daisies. You can have white and pink and yellow and purple.
Okay.
Okay. And then the echinacea is mostly purple, the flowers.
It's more of a decorative thing than anything
is.
else. Okay.
And it grows about 3 feet high, and it has a a daisy-like flower with a big cone on top.
Oh, okay.
And the cone is where your medicine is. So if you're going to,
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
No, it
okay.
doesn't work for me.
Another one that does well down here are columbines. My wife loves the columbines.
Explain what those are.
They're a lower growing perennial, and they're one of the first things up in the spring, and they bloom fairly early. They're through blooming now, and they have all kinds of colors, and they have even doubles that have a double flower on, and the flowers will have 2 and 3 colors on the flower, like purple and white, or red and white, or red and yellow, or yellow and white, and they do really well, and they spread out. They'll propagate themselves, okay?
Okay.
Another flower that does really well are coreopsis. Now, that's a $12 word.
Coreopsis.
Coreopsis. And they are a daisy-like flower. Most of them are yellow in color. They'll grow 3-4 feet tall, and they continually bloom all summer. They're beautiful. The only thing that you have to do, besides giving them a little water, you have to deadhead them.
So you have to cut them down.
No. You have to cut off the old blossoms. When the blossom is through and the leaves drop off the blossom and there's a little knob, you have to cut that knob off, because that knob takes strength from the plant. And if you want it to bloom more, you have to cut those off.
So when do you cut those off?
Well, you go out
the fall or wintertime or what?
All summer long.
All summer long, you're cutting that away.
You go out once a week and you cut those little knobby things off, and that's called deadheading.
Sounds like too much work for me.
Yeah, I know it, and that's something that my teacher used to call me, was a deadhead.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm really good at deadheading because I was one.
Oh.
But coreopsis and daisies and those, if you deadhead them, if you take the time to do it, and if you have a coreopsis that's 3 or 4 feet across, it takes a little time to deadhead all those.
So what you're saying, if you deadhead them, they're
they'll
going to come back
again.
bigger and better and nice.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
A good reason why to do that.
Yeah. So, and again, with the perennials, you have, if you look on the seed packages, there's different heights. Like zinnias, they'll have some that grow 6 inches high. They've got some that grow a foot, 18 inches, 2 feet, 3 feet. And if you start at the back of your garden with the taller ones and work up to the smaller ones, it makes a really beautiful garden. And zinnias do absolutely exceptional down here. Okay. The hotter it gets, the better they do. And they're not something that you have to water every minute either. They're you water them once a week and you'd be okay. And they bloom from about July to October.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of colors. Okay.
Now I am interested. Since I'm doing this show with you, I've become more interested in flowers and trees and crap like that.
We're starting to absorb into your brain.
Absolutely. You got me hooked on the Mexican feather grass.
That took a long time.
I know. There is there's a there's a plant out there near my work that I see every day. It's awesome. It kind of looks like a
cat.
It does look like a cat. As these green, kind of pokey leaves, they kind of look. It looks like a little bitty palm tree, and from the top of the palm tree, there's this little flower thing that shoots straight up.
It's a yucca,
and it has some color on the very top. Those are awesome.
Yeah, yucca, I think.
Yeah,
they're a plant from Mexico and the desert areas, and they do, of course, really well here. And there's about 20 different varieties.
Oh, wow.
There's purple ones. There's some that get a little spindly shoot, and some of them that get big, broad shoots.
Well,
they're a really neat accent plant.
Well, I drove past it. It's crazy because they get huge. I drove past one when I was out in Little Valley the other day. That thing was about 5 or 6 feet. That thing that shoots out from it. The plant is kind of still small,
right.
but boy, that thing is just.
And the spring is when that comes out, and it's like a flagpole that goes up, and then it blooms out.
Well, I'm going to dig up all my Mexican feathergrass plants and replace them with.
No, you're not. You do that, Artie, and I'm going to have to hurt you.
Okay.
And you know that I carry a gun.
I'm sure that. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that Doug at Star has those on.
Oh
sale.
yeah, they do. And
do they have those there?
Yeah, and they'll take care of you and sell you a lot, but you don't dig out that Mexican feathergrass.
I should
or
give
I'll
it.
Get you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm thinking they're going to die because everything I grow dies. So
now the next thing we want to talk about is there's a sprinkler control box. Now, can you pronounce that word there on the?
Unanimous. You wait. Hold on.
That's it.
Unanimous.
What do you think of that?
Unanimous.
Yeah. I looked up on the web how to pronounce this. And there's even a debate on the web of how to pronounce the word.
Well, why did you give us a complicated word to pronounce on the radio?
So you spell it RACHIO, sprinkler control box.
You know what? You should have just put. You should have just.
But this is a one of a kind deal. I got to tell you about.
You should have you should have just put down sprinkler control box.
Yeah.
Instead of this fancy word. Why'd you include the fancy word?
I did it.
You just want to show off your vocabulary.
Quiet down. This is my son-in-law Scott that helps us with our website. He's a wonderful guy, and he come up with this, and I'll tell you why. Because he loves things that are technology, right?
Sure.
Okay, this sprinkler control box. You know how we put a new one in at your place?
Yes.
Okay, but when you put one of these in, it's a little different. Now, these start out at about $120, and they go up to about $300.
You know why they're more expensive? Because they have the fancy name.
I know.
The
It's a word.
Okay.
But they do amazing things. You can run them with your smartphone with their app.
Oh.
So you can be in California and go on your smartphone and put, I think I'll water tonight, and it'll water.
Or if you see the kids in the neighborhood on your lawn, you can turn on the sprinkler.
It on. They have a Wi-Fi connection, and what else they'll do is you can have them connect to your local weather service.
Oh.
And if it's going to rain, they'll turn off.
Oh, that's really?
Yeah.
That's a cool
And
thing.
if it's not going to rain, they'll turn on. They'll sense how much moisture is in your yard, and you can say, okay, this one zone is shrubs, and this one zone is trees, and this other zone is lawn, and it takes all that into consideration for when it waters.
They should have just called it a smart sprinkler box.
The Brainiac.
A Brainiac.
Yeah, Brainiac.
Why do they have to call it this unanimous?
I think they do that because they want to make guys like us upset.
Well,
you know.
All right.
So, and you know who sells these?
Star.
We
love Star.
Yeah, they sell these.
I wonder if they have them at Bucks. Bucks is a good place, too.
So Bucks is a good place.
Love Bucks.
If you want to go spend a lot of money on a sprinkler control box that you can, be driving home from Salt Lake and turn on your sprinklers with your phone, then this is, for the tech guys, they love these. They love these.
Okay.
If Scott loves them, the tech guys love them.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's kind of neat. And I think it shows you they'll also interface with your smart home control system.
Okay.
Where it turns on your lights at a certain time and turns the heat off or turns the stuff you don't have at your house and I don't have at my house. But they're actually becoming a reality, this kind of stuff.
Well, the computer says we have 1 minute. However, the clock says we have 4 minutes.
So what do I do? A 4-minute talk or a 1 minute talk?
You know what we're going to do? Oh, 3 minutes now.
Oh.
We are going to give the people their money's worth. We're just going to keep on going.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's
Wait,
do.
Let me just turn it. Let me
pronounce that sprinkler control box again.
Wait, hold on. Unanimous.
And what language are you pronouncing it in?
I don't know.
You bangy?
Something.
Yeah.
Well, what else should we talk about? We have about 2 or 3 minutes.
My blackberries are ripening up, and I'm going to bring some in, and people are going to watch you eat blackberries.
Really?
Yeah. And so that's exciting. I'm going to Salt Lake this week, so I'll be gone. So all the thieves can come to my house and take all my possessions.
Your blackberries.
The blackberries.
Your blackberries
the
are
tomatoes. The tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can get high off the echinacea.
Or they can let the blackberries ferment and make blackberry wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good, huh?
Well, I'm going to tell your bishop that you're making wine in the backyard.
I want you to get one of those sprinkler control boxes, one of those little boxes. You know what? I need to ask Scott how to pronounce that. Let's have him call in next week and tell us.
We'll have him do that.
All right, we'll have him dial in and tell us how to pronounce that word.
Okay, so for 2 more minutes, let's give the folks their money's worth. Let's keep on plowing forward.
Okay, let's see.
Explain how to trim a shade tree.
Oh, that's going to take more than 2 minutes. I will tell you that as the weather gets warm next week, you need to start looking at your sprinklers and maybe turn them up a little bit. Not a lot, just a couple of minutes per zone.
I've actually tuned you out because I want to know how to trim a shade tree. I don't know. That's what I want.
I'll make you a deal. You pronounce that sprinkler box, and I'll tell you how to trim a shade tree.
You have 1 minute.
No, you have a minute to pronounce that box.
Unanimous.
Yeah. E pluribus unus.
All right. So what are we going to be talking about on future shows?
We're going to be talking about Artie eating blackberries.
All righty.
And we're going to talk about plant food. It's time to put some plant food on your tomatoes.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about weeding, your favorite thing to do.
I hate weeding.
I know.
I actually got some pure poison. Don't tell. I'm not going to tell you where I got it from, but
okay.
It does. The bottle actually has the crossbones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. On it.
Wow.
So you know what? I'm not even diluting it.
I'm giving it to your cat?
No. That's mean to say. I actually pour that poison directly on the plants.
That'll do it. No wonder your plants die.
All right, it's the Home and Garden Show. Say hi to us.
I think we had more fun than we had garden this week.
Yeah,
it was good. It was great.
It was an award-winning show. We're gonna send this show to the broadcasting
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, you bet. Funandgarden.com is the best way to contact us and listen to.
If you're going to be a radio announcer, Artie, you have to be able to say words.
I'm trying to wrap this up, Woody.
Say the sprinkler control box.
We read out of time.
E pluribus unum.
Funandgarden.com is the best way to hear past shows and also to interact with us. And thanks once again for...
Scott's next week going to be our special guest.
We're trying to wrap this up. You keep on talking. Wait.
Are we gone?
Yeah. Okay.
You've been listening to The Garden Show. For audio and or video
I'm going to turn off the mic
go
now.
to Facebook or YouTube, Spotify or Podbean, and search Radio St. George. Or go to the website